Hello again, my MMA true believers. I'm Jason Burgos for Sherdog.com, and tonight I am joined by a former LFA featherweight champion looking to add one championship gold to his trophy case on October 30th. On that night, when he gets inside the Matrix, he will face off with one of the promotion's very best talent in former two-division champion Martin Nguyen, and that man I speak of is Thanh Lee. Mr. Lee, thanks so much for the time. A couple weeks away from this title opportunity you have impressively earned right way.
Trying, man, out there, matching me up against some tough guys, and been lucky enough and fortunate enough to have my game plan work out and put those guys down. So I think we did it in a good way. Got some quick knockouts. So I guess I couldn't ask for much more.
Now let's talk. I wanted to ask about putting these guys down and just the whole experience that you've had so far. With one championship, because it's been very successful in 3 fights, 3 knockout wins, 2 in the first round. You've gotten to compete in Indonesia and Thailand. Has the transition to up to another level of competition been even easier than maybe you thought? Adjusting to the long distance travel, which is a big thing a lot of foreign fighters have to do for the UFC. Has the promotion's hydration protocols been beneficial for you? And have you found, some pros and cons of competing for a major organization that does rings and cages?
Yeah, to be honest with you, nothing but good things to say. I mean, obviously it's easy to say that because the last 3 fights worked out, but you know what I mean? But really, I'm happy with the way weigh-ins go. I'm so happy that I don't have to dehydrate myself down to 145 pounds like I used to. Yeah. So that's always a plus. Being able to just diet down and make weight is awesome. Worst case, you get a little workout in the morning and you're good to go. That's been really cool. The other part of that is traveling. 24 hours on a plane before a week before or 10 days before the fight hasn't made a huge difference. During the fight. I've just got to make sure that I prepare as far as hydration goes, as far as meals go. On the way back, I get to enjoy the little flight food, but on the way there, I bring my own stuff and prepare and be ready. But honestly, the whole adventure, traveling to another country to fight, in a foreign land is so awesome, man. It's been so cool. I'm definitely not used to that. I've fought, all my stuff in the States, and it's been really cool to be able to travel that far. Every fight's an adventure. I can't complain. Those things I would pay to go do, but I get to also go there, travel, enjoy a vacation. I get to fight, which is awesome, and I get paid. So, I definitely can't complain about any of that.
Now, I interviewed Martin Nguyen last night, and he mentioned a part of why he enjoys competing for one is not having to trash talk his way into big fights or title fights. You've had 3 fights in the promotion, put on impressive performances in all of them, and earned your title shot fairly, pretty much in line with what I would guess many fighters wish it could be in terms of if they wanted to get title fights or ranked or whatever, big fights. How much of a relief and kind of just an ease on the mind, a peace of mind has it been to not have to go on social and sell yourself and call somebody out and talk all this shit and all this stuff? Has it been a big part of this has made it even much easier? I don't have to go become a social media phenomenon.
Absolutely. I can be myself. The most cringeworthy thing is seeing people out there trying to talk their way into big fights, but you can tell it's not their personality. There are some guys that do it, but you can tell it's genuinely them. You got the Connors and the Diaz's and those guys that are genuine. That's him. No matter what, whether you like it or not, whether it gets him a fight or not, that's him. So he'll be him. And I agree with that. I'm in line with that. This happens to be me. I don't talk a lot of shit. I try to state facts during interviews and how I feel and, what I think as far as the science of fighting goes and answer you guys' questions. But it's been really cool to see that, one really takes into account opponent skill set, your skill set, great matchups, exciting fights, how it finished, who you fought to get there. And then they rank you accordingly. And I think that's really cool. And it's really comforting knowing that I don't have to go and try to mock up some character and try to talk
Yeah.
other shit into a fight, my performance is going to do that for me. And yeah, if they happen to be quick knockouts and they happen to be relatively exciting fights, so awesome. Like that's my shit talking. Cool, I'll do that all day.
Now, speaking of knockouts, in terms of like knockout finishes, you have by far the highest rate of percentage of any opponent Martin has fought in the past in terms of knockouts and stuff like that. And he has faced some talented strikers like a Kevin Bellignon and Edward Folingang. While you may not have as known a name as them yet, do you feel you are just a different level of striker compared to what Martin has encountered before? And if you do, explain it for the folk watching this. Is it a power thing? Is it because of the Taekwondo? Is it a speed thing? Like, are you much different than those guys?
Yes. Everything you listed, that's the reason. It's nothing that I'm gonna come out and say I'm the fastest person he's met or the most powerful guy he's ever fought. But the way I mix it, I think, is unorthodox. It's unusual. It's impossible to replicate for training. I think that's a big problem. The guys he's fought are ginormous names in the sport. So there's no shit talking way to say I'm better than anybody he's ever faced. Right. But let me tell you something. I am different than anybody he's ever faced. This is a lot different than really anybody in the sport, the way I approach the game. So I think it's important to keep myself grounded and understanding where I sit amongst these guys, but really knowing that I belong at the top. I deserve this fight. I belong fighting the champions of the world. And, we'll see come October 30th if I have a belt wrapped around my waist,
Martin has proven to be a dangerous striker in his own right. Working with guys like Henry Hoof will really do that, and he's evolved his skills a lot. Break down for me as much as you can without giving away any strategic things, like the strengths and weaknesses you see in his stand-up. And if you had to say rank him on his striking on a danger factor in terms of you, where would you put him in a, say, 1 to 10? Is he a 5? Is he a 7? Is he an 8 or 9?
Oh, danger?
Yeah.
A 10. I mean, he's got one-shot KO power, and he can create that pretty damn well. So, I mean, that's it doesn't get much more dangerous than being able to just touch you one time and put you to sleep, right? The one thing that I like to hang my hat on is I just don't get hit very often. I have been hit, and it sucks, but I try to focus all of my training and all my time on hitting and not getting hit. So obviously that's the name of the game. And really this fight's going to boil down to who's going to really plant their feet, let that shot go and make a good connection. Yeah. And that can go either way, man. Like don't get it twisted. Like Martin's a great fighter. I think I'm a great fighter, but who's going to fight better that day is what's going to be the most important thing that comes up. And, obviously we're working towards making sure that all the balls are in our court and all the whatever cliches and statements or whatever one-liners I want to say. But really, we're doing our best to make sure that we keep this fight where we want to and use the things that make us different and really, really good. And we'll keep doing what we've been doing,
And that's interesting you mentioned that point, how dangerous he is, his power, stuff like that, because it changes what I thought you were going to maybe say to this next question, or maybe it doesn't. Now, when he and his team down in Sanford are game planning for you, what do you think they feel is the best way to come after you for a win, maybe with the least level of resistance? Do you think it's simply to test your wrestling, keep you off balance by maybe even threatening the takedowns? And how much preparation have you done for something specific like this? Or do you feel like this might just straight up be a stand-up fight throughout?
I think it's going to start that way. I think it's going to start out with both of us on the feet and kind of seeing what each of us brings to the table and how much we can adjust and how much we can, make reads with. But I think eventually this fight's going to drag out with me on the feet, being doing what I do best. And I think he's going to revert down to taking shots. He's going to reach, and that's where the problem's going to happen.
Is there ever a pride? Let's say things are getting harder than you expect on the feet for you, but you're such a great striker. Is there a pride thing? Like, no, I know I'm a good striker. I'm not going to go for a takedown. Or do you feel like you're a professional? You got to do whatever you got to do. So if you go for a shot, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to win. There's not a pride thing. I got to knock this guy out.
100%. I'm not here to try to prove to anybody that I'm the best striker in the world.
Hmm.
I'm here to prove, and I'm here to show my family and my friends that I think I'm one of the best fighters in the world.
Right.
So whatever street route detour I've got to take to get to that point,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best to get there. And whether that means taking him down, getting taken down, being on top, being on bottom, finishing him on the ground, finishing him on feet. Like I am confident everywhere this fight goes. And I think that I know that nobody's really seen anything else besides me touching people and people going to sleep. So if that's all you think I got, beautiful. I nothing makes me happier. But it's we'll see how it goes if he can make it through 25 minutes of me not touching him at all. Yeah, he deserves to keep the damn belt.
Now, you have roots in Louisiana, a state that has been hit hard with, this historic group, hurricane season in the Gulf Coast area and stuff like that. Do you have, like, loved ones that may have been hit hard times of late because of this? And is winning on the 30th not just winning for you, but giving them and MMA fans in the state just something positive to talk and believe in?
Absolutely, man. This state has a lot of great MMA champions that have come out of it.
Yeah.
But if I can do anything to contribute any type of entertainment factor, uplifting spirit, or anything towards, my people here, people all over the world, dealing with what's going on in the world today, like anything that I could do to make that just a fraction better, I would love to do that. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm here for me and my goals, but without people enjoying the sport, without fans really wanting to watch me do this thing, I don't get paid to do this. I might still be doing it, but I'm not getting paid to do it, right? We're not a part of a big promotion. We're not, bringing in all these fans together to be able to come together and see events like this. So I think it's a really big thing. And if I can do anything to help, the state of Louisiana morale or anything like that, because of the rough couple of months that everybody has had, I'm just very happy to do it.